Good morning. So today we are just east of Palm Springs and we're in the Painted Canyon, and we're going to do a little trail in here to the ladders. It's called because you're climbing up canyon walls on ladders, and there'll be some slot canyons as well, and it's all in this amazing area with canyons all around you. It's all sandstone, it's got different colors, and of course they're carved by water erosion mostly, as most of the canyons are. And this is the start of the trailhead, which you can see is actually a dried out riverbed. So if it rains really hard somewhere else, there could be flash floods and all of that. You can see how coarse it is, so there is water coming at unexpected times. Can be quite dangerous if you don't listen out for warnings, etc. So that's what we're going to do. And if we have time later on after this, because this isn't all that long, we might go back to Joshua because it's right near here as well, and do another little hike there. So we're going to have a lot of fun again. So we've literally only just walked about less than 100 meters inside the canyon, and you can now already start to appreciate just how high these canyon walls are, how much water there is running when it rains or when there's a flash flood, and how many canyons are created by the water. Everywhere you look and go, there's more canyons. It's amazing.
And as I said yesterday, we did San Francisco mountains, so we were up with pines, and then your mountain range, and then an hour later. I love different areas.
Yep, absolutely no problem. So we just did a little detour at the start to look into this side canyon, and we're going back onto the main trail now. But it doesn't matter which direction you're going, they all look amazing and different, whether you go into the canyon or out of it. Different angles, different perspectives, and it just, from a distance, it looks just like sand, mounds of sand, but this is solid sandstone.
Yep.
And yet very porous, and water gets rid of it. But you can climb these.
Well, very careful.
Well, yeah, that'd be loose bits, of course, but easy to put screws and whatever they call them into the
Yep.
the fasteners for the ropes. Probably don't need many of them.
Oh, that's cool.
So now we're starting to get a little bit further inside or into the canyon, and as you can see, it is starting to get a lot narrower, and some people might already start getting claustrophobic in here with the walls going up on both sides. Or just imagine a inner city scenario with skyscrapers on both sides and you only have a one-lane road. And just hope that there's no water coming while you're walking upstream. And this is just a look the other way towards the entrance. Laurie's behind me there, explaining things on her GoPro. And it's just every turn you make, it looks different and you feel like videoing or taking a picture again. And unfortunately in the pictures it doesn't give you the depth or that feeling that you have when you're somewhere in person. But I suppose it's better than nothing. I'm surely happy and privileged to be able to go to a lot of these places and enjoy them in person. So today I've decided to try out just the phone camera, as in the video, because a couple of times now I had problems with the GoPro when I transferred the data, and even though it comes over to the phone and I can combine the videos and it looks good on the little screen, once the video is created and uploaded, it seems to come through pretty crappy, and it doesn't flow nicely, and most of all, it's not sharp half the time, and I cannot work out why. So today and yesterday even, I have to redo that whole video, because even though I selected the clips chronologically, it put them together backwards. Not that that makes a huge difference, but it's just not right. So today I'm doing everything by phone, holding my Samsung, and we'll have a look how that turns out. It's always best to get a little bit of sky in to get the colours a little bit better. It around. Oh, we need widescreen. And see how the colours change as soon as you've got a little bit of sky in it. Now I said it's gonna get narrower, but it seemed to be just that bend where the water hasn't carved out enough area yet, because in here it's quite wide again. Before the next two bends, it looks like there's two streams coming together. Well, we'll go and explore. So we're going to wander off towards that left canyon that's opening here. It's going to get a lot narrower in there, and I believe that's where we'll find the ladders to climb up some of the walls. So it's starting to get a little bit more adventurous now. So we're going the opposite direction this time.
Yes,
For you. No, that's true.
it's the only direction you know.
True. So here we go. Laurie's climbing up the first ladder through a tight space. That's when it pays off not to have big backpacks and poles and all the other bits and pieces. And there we go, she's slowly disappearing. 2 more steps and she's gone. And then I'm all by myself and scared.
Don't be scared.
I think you're more scared at the moment than me.
Probably because I don't do heights real well. Although this is not
There you go, you're as good as up.
graffiti. These beautiful rocks. This is a space that everyone should enjoy. When you leave that type of mark, nobody enjoys that.
Now then, this is a little bit interesting. I suppose we're just walking up there. And then there'll be another ladder inside this slot somewhere to get us higher up.
Let's see if I can keep the video on as I go up.
Yep, you should be. I mean, there's only going to be ladder in it,
Yep.
but I'm videoing as you're going up. So here we go, the second ladder. Pretty easy one.
It's easy, but it's still sketchy.
And you can see how much you wouldn't want to be stuck here now when there's a flash flood coming. You'd get a nice shower.
Oh, it's so rickety.
It won't go anywhere. It's firmly in the ground.
It's still rickety.
Yep, it's wobbly, but just do one step at a time.
That's what I'm doing, one step at a time.
Who sang that song again? What's her name? I've got it on my music selection actually.
All right, my GoPro went south for the winter. How it was when I was trying to go down the first time last year. And you had to twist your body around to get down. I had to throw my backpack down. I was so freaked out, but I was also solo. I did not have the joys of Stephen with me.
I don't know if it's a joy having
It
you
is
with
a
you,
wonderful joy.
but at least you don't. You can half the being scared bit is halved. We can share the being
I love
scared
slot
bit.
canyons. They are so amazing.
Right.
All right. Slot canyons, they are so flippin' beautiful. Different.
Being able to walk upstream in them, basically. Hi.
Hello.
Oops. Here you are. Laurie's emerging from one of the slots. And off we go to the next one. So we just came up from here, or from down there, I should say, down into that. Oh, there's a bird down there, look at that. We walked through here. There was a ladder in that bit somewhere. Oh, well, you saw the ladder in the video. And then come around and you have to crawl up here, climb, and move on to the next narrow bit, and probably another ladder somewhere. This is like a maze. Ooh.
So beautiful. So cool. Now you know why I'm a slut, Evans. It's definitely a challenge, a good challenge.
Oops.
Just feeling the textures and the beauty around you. It is amazing.
Rightio, so just turning the camera around for a change to see a different perspective again. You see how narrow these slot canyons get. I just have to look on the ground a little bit as well, so I don't drip, trip. God. And I don't know, I don't see that much because I can't zoom out as far on the front camera. Oh, on the way, oh, big rock here, to get to the next ladder. Maybe if I get myself out of the picture,
Some of the adventures.
I'll do
And
this.
even the bird that's over here. Let's see if I can get to it. Maybe it's gone. There was a
Oops.
bird over here.
Excuse me, Laurie, videographers coming past each other.
Anyhow, the bird is no longer here, but it was
It's around again.
come into one of the crevices.
It's a long way up.
This is a short hike, not even 5 miles. It is extremely strenuous because ultimately you're using your arms, your legs, you're basically scrambling. It's also hot. I just told you that it's going to be hot even though I'm not
It's quite humid in here because there's no air movement. So even though it's in the shade and the temperature isn't that bad, I think it's only in the mid 30s or low 30s. There's no air movement, so I'm actually quite sweaty. And I don't find the hike difficult or hard work, but just the fact that there's no air movement in here. I thought the ladders would be a lot closer to each other. So you can see this is still a very, very young canyon. And you look at the riverbed or creek bed, it's just enough room actually to walk with the typical bends that water makes everywhere. Oh, we're coming towards a higher area. Ah, there's light again. And still some moisture around. So it must have rained not all that long ago. Oh, it's still water seeping through slowly. There's another little ladder. That's just one to make it a bit easier to get up and out. Right, the challenge is to only use one hand when you're filming and then try not to slip. Right, look at these colours. I love it when you have the blue sky. And we'll see if Laurie emerges. Maybe I can see her from there. Somewhere. I don't know where she is. Oh, there you are.
I'm coming, just slowly but surely. I know the next ladder.
I was trying to find you in the slots, but it's quite difficult because you're hidden deep down inside.
Well, that's a fun little ladder.
It's the top, so put your GoPro away because you'll need your hands at the top.
I can tell.
You'll need all fours for the last couple of steps. Whoops. It's a bit slippery on the top. And that's the secret of how to get out of a slot, using hand and feet. Balance yourself and brace yourself. That's the easiest way. Your GoPro stuck a little bit.
I know. I saw that.
Do you want me to grab your hand, or are you more comfortable
I think I'm pretty comfortable.
that way? There you go. Easy peasy, well done.
I don't know how easy peasy it is.
It was, you got here.
Stephen and I are fascinated with this rock formation. And he says it looks like, what castle?
Well, the castle in Kufstein, where I was born, well, that's one part of it.
Yeah,
like
one part
the
of
big tower that is on the right-hand side here, and then the walls of the castle and the next pylon on the left.
Yep.
And the one that I grew up in, I didn't grow up in the castle, but in the town on top of the hill in town, that was used as the security prison in the times of Emperor Maximilian. I think that was in the 1400s.
Nice. Well, not nice because, you know.
The walls were like 4 meters thick.
Oh, wow.
As in, you could not get out.
Wow.
And what's 4 meters? That's like 4 yards.
There you go. Whew, that is one thick wall. But it does look, it really does look like a castle to me.
Yep.
That is what I love about slot canyons and deserts. I love trees. I love being out in the Sierras and in the mountains. But for me, being out in the desert, you can see some amazing formations that are so different than what you would normally see on a standard hike. I see rock formations all the time when I'm hiking, and I love to see them. But the intensity and the very almost alien-like aspects.
So I just ventured off into a little side canyon, and it keeps going in there quite a bit further, but it's not the main trek. So I won't spend too much time in here, but mainly I did it because I spotted from the outside this ocotillo. And again, I said it many times before, they're very distinctive plants of the Colorado desert. And you know, there's nothing else really in here, and it just happens to have this beautiful, healthy looking plant in the middle of the desert, fairly high up, so well, I suppose it doesn't get washed away unless there's a really big flood or rain coming in. Another cacti as well, that get enough water every now and then to germinate when there's seeds on the ground, and if they're lucky enough they can hang on and spread roots. There's another couple of plants here, so it must just be high enough for them to be safe and low enough to grab some water as it flows by when it rains, or when it rains somewhere else when it comes down this way. So I'm just walking back out again into the main canyon. This is just a little side stream, but it's good to do these little detours sometimes. That goes in a long way. That goes in a long way. There's quite a few plants a little bit higher up, some cacti and other plants, and that beautiful ocotillo.
So what that sign says, by the way, is no ladder. You gotta, so stand back a little farther. I wish they didn't do that, because I wouldn't have gone that way anyhow. But it says
So no ladder. Yeah, this is the, yeah, now I see it. It's a ladder and it's crossed out.
Yeah.
So there's a canyon, but I just love that little, seeing the ocotillo, and then it just made me want to go in there.
Oh.
Yep. I wanted a photo, not the video, but there you go. Another quite healthy looking plant along the way. This is really, really porous area at the moment. Hello! Videoing the other person videoing. So see, you couldn't climb this. And this is what it was like in Waimea Canyon, only it was flatter, so it looked more like rock. But when I tried to hold on to anything, when I climbed back up, it would just crumble, and I could not. You can literally make the whole thing fall off. I just did an example with Laurie beforehand, and the whole side came out. So that's probably one as well. Whoops, there you go. If you hang on to something, it does not support your weight. It doesn't support any weight at all, or not much weight. So it's extremely dangerous if you're on a ledge, because it will just come out, whatever you hang on to, and then you trip and you stumble and you slide off. That might be another one as well. Oh, that's quite a big one, but I didn't have that luxury in Waimea Canyon. It was scary going back up there, but lucky nothing happened. But you can see this is just piles of sands and rock, and there's lots of water coming through. It washes it all out. Even just the rain coming down would bring a lot of landslides with it. Wonder if we'll come across another snake today. This is prime snake country, with all these crevices and shady spots and lots of sun, and lots of bottom dwellers would be around. Just the right food for the snakes. There we go. It's getting higher again. Apparently we've only gone about 1/3 through the whole canyon, which, as I said before, I'm not complaining. That's fabulous because we can enjoy it. And there you go, you try and hang on to something and it's quite loose. Right, I'm going to stop for a moment. So I don't know how much you can see on the video, but this is, well, in real life, a really nice view out towards the main valley, towards Coachella, and towards the entrance to this painted canyon and the slot canyons where we've come through. And I'm just zooming out further and further. And in this bit of the canyon now, you can see a bit more vegetation, which is obviously the higher regions of the canyon, where even when it only rains a little bit or moisture gets here, because it's higher up, it already gives the plants more chances of survival. And as you just walk around the corner and bang, all of a sudden there are a variety of plants and a lot more life is visible. And I'm just very conscious about snakes around here because there are so many rocks and crevasses and little caves, and because it's more life, look at all these little caves, and you wouldn't want to explore in any of them and put your hands in. Perfect hiding places for all sorts of animals. And because there's more water, there'll be more ground dwellers and then more snakes, as they're the predators. So I'm just mindful of them, especially after seeing that little baby rattlesnake yesterday, which was fantastic.
I don't want to see a bigger one.
Well, I'd like to see one, but in a safe distance, obviously.
Keep going. This is too much sun for me.
Keep moving.
Get the max of my sun.
You haven't been drinking,
I've been drinking lots of water.
have you? I haven't seen you.
I've been drinking and drinking and drinking.
Good.
But it's not that. The sun itself, I can't handle.
Right, so we've just climbed up on top of a ridge, climbing out of the canyon, and the view up here is just magnificent. Again, over there you can see the painted canyons in the distance, and this canyon here in the middle is what we've walked through and twirled ourselves through all these bits and pieces all the way out to the last little bit of mountain you see before the valley. Basically, that out there is where we would have started.
We've only gone probably about 1.5 miles, so we haven't gone that far, but we have seen.
There's so many changes
Amazing.
in the colors, in the formations, in the vegetation, in
Exactly.
the composition of the rocks and the sandstone, how loose or how hard it still is, like in the slot canyon. So you know, you can easily climb the walls, and here you can just slip walking on level ground.
Yep.
Oops, that's only your cap.
That's okay. It's a cute cap with Mickey on it.
That's it. You got Mickey Mouse.
I do. One of
I've
my favorite
got it on
nuts.
Zoom.
And now it's all nasty. I'm going to have to wash it.
That's all right.
It's worth it. Don't get me wrong.
Whoops, I'm a bit close to the edge here.
I would rather.
So we've come from behind that ridge, behind all of these painted canyons, up to this ridge that we're on now, and then you look further the opposite direction and there's more and more and more canyons, and we're going to follow this path along the left of the canyon. I think fairly close up to where that power station is, or no, that's not a power station, that's all telecommunication, I think. That's all towers for mobile phone networks by the looks of it, and satellite dishes and things like that. And somewhere over there the path leads down again into one of the canyons, and we're gonna walk back again through these canyons somewhere. I'm not sure if it's that one that is right below me, to walk around and back out downstream, so to speak, all around there, but at the bottom obviously, to come back out way around the corner to get back to the car. So we've just looked it up on a map and we've only done 1/3 of the trail so far, so we've only done 1.5 miles. So what's that, 2.5 kilometers, and we've seen so many different things already. Now I've just spotted another castle over there. Well, from a distance it looks like it, and it's got a hole in the middle of the wall where I imagine the cannon to be. There you go. I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty much in the middle of the screen. But we all see different things in the rock formations. Anyway, I better make a move and catch up with Laurie. And in there somewhere is where we're going to go once we get back down into it. So we're back down at the beginning of one of the canyons. As you can see, this is like a dried out, quite a big riverbed, almost like a valley. And Laurie's just slowly making her way down. It's very, it's very.
I always say turtle up.
Turtle up.
Slow
That's
and
it.
steady wins the race.
That's correct, and you are safe.
Okay, maybe not so slow. It just depends on who you're racing against.
Well, it's not a race, it's an enjoyment.
But for me, hiking is not a race.
That's right.
It's all about enjoying the run.
Better safe than sorry.
And getting down safely.
Yep, it is just so easy to slip here and trip,
with
and
all the screen.
because everything is loose. Everything, everywhere you step could just give in underneath your feet. So you made it.
I'm not the mountain goat that he is.
Who's he?
You! Makeup.
That's right. So we're at the start of the canyon, going back to where we started from, at the start of where we started from. But this is completely different composition, and over here you can actually see, you know, the bottom layer is that dark brown going into black mineral, and on top is the regular sandstone structure. This seems to be a lot harder. I don't know what mineral that is or what stone, but it makes for a very interesting contrast. And even inside the riverbed you've got these grey, dark, blackish looking rocks. Yeah, I'm not a geologist, so I don't know all the names of the different minerals, but I'm enjoying it. Walking into this canyon now with different colours, different formations, different structure, and see what we find as we're walking slowly back out into the different canyons and towards where the car is. It'll be fabulously interesting.
Appreciation for desert hiking, if you are a hiker that would love to hike, will expand immensely as you go and discover these new areas that you didn't know about before.
Just capturing a little bit of the walk into the canyon now, as the riverbed or the valley inside the canyon is getting narrower. Sun's in front of me, so I think this could have quite a nice colour now going the other way. Blue skies. It's hard to tell because you can't see anything through your sunglasses watching the screen, especially holding the phone and trying to look where you're walking as well. Anyway, I hope it comes out half decent, but I can't zoom out enough by the looks of it, so it just doesn't make sense to do. You don't really need to see me. I'll turn it around and zoom out. That's better. So we've just come from that direction, from up the top at the very back, that ridge line with the whitish sandstone where the cloud is above. Up from that area we walked down into the wide valley, and as you can see, it's just come around one bend and it's already getting narrower. Every bend is different, and Laurie is just looking at some of the different minerals that are within those rocks, the different types of minerals, and as they get turned over and folded over, they get exposed in layers. And no doubt that's why it's called the Painted Canyon.
Exactly. Yeah, I also have a lot of people in my hiking groups and things. I oftentimes do not hike with the group themselves, but I fall back because I'm taking pictures or videos.
So here we go into another bend of the canyon. And what I always find amazing with all these canyons and the different layers is how distinct these layers are of one mineral to the next. You know, when they turn over the millions of years and build up and turn upside down, and whichever way they're formed. I think it's amazing, and it makes for scenic lookouts and wonderful shots. No idea what's around the corner, but what have you found? Oh, a lizard. Oh yeah, that's a good size for the desert. Oh, it's got a full belly.
Definitely.
That has eaten not long ago.
Well, he's eating right now. Hi.
He's trapped now, doesn't know which way to run. Or maybe he's too fat to run.
Well, he was eating off of some of the debris.
Maybe it's a female.
Oh, that's true. Oh, she can run. But she's got her mouth full.
Not too bothered about us.
No. She wasn't bothered when I stopped. And I walked up to her.
She, him, whoever. Nice of her, or him, or it, to pose for us.
new things.
Oh, birds. Yeah, and there's some birds around. I was just thinking I'd like to see a bighorn sheep or something, you know.
Oh, we
Some of
might see one in Joshua.
Yeah, maybe at night time if you stay late. Might be lucky. Bless you. There is actually, as we're going up, I know this was on the other side, there's a sheep pass, it's called. So I would assume that maybe in that area, it's more likely to see them. Oh, and they're right on top of the canyon as well. I love that look with the white sandstone or the beige sandstone, the blue sky, and right on top some of the ocotillos peeking over, and then the different layers coming down into the canyon, the black and the browns, and then the washed out sand and rocks. Trees or bushes, whatever they are, trees on this side, and lots of heat. So still walking through the canyon, or back into another canyon basically, to go back to the car. And we've left the bit, it's just one corner, you come around one corner or one bend, and all that black rock finished, and now we have the sandstone on top again. Then this darker brown color, and underneath now here this white rock with the black layers in it. On this side you can see 3 different ones as well, and again this fabulous zebra or zebra kind of stripy, bright and dark colored layers. So every bend you do, the canyon changes slightly. Look at the white rocks that are in the riverbed, and then the black ones in between that have been washed out on this layer. And they're obviously a different composition because they seem to be much more solid than the sandstone, the regular sandstone that is on top. They must have been compressed a lot more or a lot longer. I'm not a geologist, so I should shut up. Not quite sure how it all works, but it's fascinating. Look at that. Beautiful. Laurie found a spot in the shade. It is getting, I think it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. So this is the hottest time of the day, or we're getting into it, probably early afternoon, 3-4 o'clock. It's meant to be 107, 109 today, is it?
It's supposed to be about
Oh
17.
God.
And by the way, it's only 12. It's not even 2 yet.
Oh, I thought it was already later.
12:15. We ate lunch a little early at 11:30.
Right. Well, that's good. I'm glad. That means we've got more time.
More time in Joshua Tree when we're done.
Yep. Oh, a raven is watching us. Well, you're not going to feed on us or
Nope.
pick out our eyes or anything.
Are you videoing?
Yep.
Okay.
That's all right. You can still speak.
Oh no, I don't mind speaking. I just don't want to walk in front of your video.
That's all right.
With my tail end going on.
That's already in the video a few times.
You're like, your ass is there.
I'll turn this way.
Ah, you're so funny. oh, this breeze is amazing.
It feels lovely at the moment and being in the shade as well. And it's starting to get narrower. We'll get to ladders again soon. Oh, this is cool. This would be a nice waterfall. Imagine this when water is...
This is our first ladder down this way.
This would be stunning when there was water, or is water.
Yeah, no.
Well, not to climb down it, but that'd be a nice waterfall from the bottom. And you're standing in water, of course. Bit like in the Narrows.
Yeah.
With a waterfall at the end.
All right, so now we get to navigate down.
Well, this is getting interesting again now. So hand and feet again, and then there's the ladder. It's fine.
Oh no, we'll be fine. Yep.
Yeah.
You get hands and
It's only,
feet down the rocks.
it's only a regular size ladder. It's got the rope on the top as well. So it's all good.
And you see the ladder. And
So
you
I'll
see Stephen's feet.
get out of your way and we swap spots.
There you go down the ladder.
Fabulous. Just waiting for Laurie to come down, but I think she's waiting until I stop videoing. Traverse, go sideways.
I'm good. I'm going down to my tail end. My butt knows what it's doing.
It's got a bit of padding.
Interesting is that there's water right here.
Yeah, probably seeps through it takes a while to get through all the sandstone. So eventually it comes out somewhere.
Yep. That is fascinating. See, you have those long ass legs.
That's a little bit of an advantage, yep. You should try and turn around as soon as you can, obviously, and just use the rope.
Yeah.
Because the rope is safe, it won't go anywhere. This is the best way, so now you're fine to just step down.
But you have no idea. Climbing a ladder at my house to fix a light fixture scares me.
Yeah, that's a lot of people, and that's fine. And you're managing it, and you're enjoying it. Once you've done it, it's like an achievement. So
Well,
that's
no, that's the way I feel. I don't like heights. I don't do things, but I want to
challenge yourself.
challenge it and actually show myself that I don't have to let fear conquer me.
That's right. You've just done it, and it was so quick and easy. See, and you've got a smile on your face.
All right, so I'm going to take this.
And there's the next ladder. That's that's very easy to get to. Are you recording while you're doing it?
Yes, I am.
Woo! You keen?
Here we go. Say hi, Stephen.
Hello.
All
Now
right,
turn
now, the
turn
tricky
around.
part is
Yeah.
always to turn around and get going this way. Woohoo. And I use my camera while I'm doing it all.
Be interesting to see that footage
I know.
with your GoPro.
Okay, this is interesting. It's like a rock in a hard place.
One foot at a time,
Exactly.
and never let go of the top.
Exactly.
I actually find it easier to grab onto
To the rungs?
Yep. Thanks for saying that, because I would have used the wrong word.
The rungs of a ladder. All right, there we go.
So there we go. We've just come down a couple of ladders again. Very simple ones, easy ones. Unless of course you're a little bit afraid of heights or not used to ladders or anything, and it no doubt is a challenge. But like Laurie says, she's got that issue. She's afraid of heights, she's not good on ladders and stuff, but she forces herself and gets through the little challenge, and then it's an accomplishment and she feels good about herself. So that's a good way of doing things when you're not used to certain things or you're afraid of change and challenges. That's excellent. And we keep walking, going through the canyon downstream, and apparently there's a few more ladders that we have to manage before we get back. So all the black and white sediments and rocks have gone now, and we're back to that top layer of sandstone, and then underneath the dark brownish one or strongly earth colored one, and of course then the sand and just rocks in the creek bed. Well, and just like that, we were just saying how long before we're back at the car park. We come around the corner and kaboom, we're back. I should do a little prank on Laurie and say I forgot my GoPro somewhere and I have to go back all the way. We've got enough time, but it's way too hot, of course. But there you go, you have it. 3 cars here. We didn't see a single person anywhere. Our car, or Laurie's car, is over there. So that's the end of the loop that we did today, which is the Painted Canyon and the ladders trail. There weren't that many ladders, I think 6 or 7 all up. And for my kind of experience, or not being afraid of ladders or heights, it was very easy, but tremendously enjoyable as well. Enjoyable, I should say. And this is it. Now we're going to go and fuel up our backpacks with cool drinks and stuff, and decide what we're going to do this afternoon, where we're going to go in Joshua Tree, and then we will probably go and wait in Joshua Tree for sunset and to see the stars come out before we head back to the hotel. So talk to you all later. I know.
I thought it was video. I'm chit-chatting.
So here we are, we're back at Joshua Tree National Park, again on the eastern side of it, but this is one part of the park that I've missed out on the first 2 days I came in here. And I'm glad we come here today, because look at this. This is an area where the whole valley is full with these cholla cacti, as they're called. And it's just like a plantation, where this whole area is just ideal for the growth of this particular plant and cactus. And I'm just going to go a bit closer so you can see the seed pods or flowers or whatever they are on top of it as well. It is just amazing. I like little Christmas trees. Flowers on this one, or the seed pods are all on this side. I think this is the western side we're looking at now, or the plants, the flowers are looking at. It's just amazing. And it goes on and on and on and on. This whole valley basically is full, as if they were planted, of these cholla cacti.
Unless you come to a place like this. Thank you again for watching. See you soon.
I hope this video turns out, because again the screen is pretty dark, so I can't see what I'm videoing and whether it's focusing or not. But it's just amazing. It's like a big nursery of these cacti or little trees. So we're still in Joshua Tree National Park. We've just went outside the park to 29 Palms to have dinner, and we've come back here to wait for sunset, and our expectation of the stars are coming out tonight, and we pulled into a parking lot or picnic area called
Live Oak.
Live Oak, and we both look at each other and go, an oak tree in the desert. So I've been looking for it, and finally we found it.
45 minutes we've been looking for it, and there it
And
is.
there it is. It's big, it's thriving. There's an oak tree in the desert.
Not its natural habitat.
Absolutely not.
It looks amazing. And you were thinking it was going to be just a little tiny
Yep,
oak tree.
absolutely. I did not think it
with all
could
this
go this.
greenery, it would survive.
Yeah, but it's not conditioned to be in this area, so it's amazing that it has survived. And obviously for a long time, because this tree would grow much slower than in where it normally lives.
Yeah.
And yet when you look at the size of its trunk, it is astonishing that it has survived all these years. It's probably, I don't know, 40, 50 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe older. Probably older, because it wouldn't grow much in this area. And I would certainly have never watered it, because that's against all rules and regulations, and just a random oak tree in the desert. And the ravens given their bit of opinion.
And then you've got these beautiful rock formations.
I can't believe how big it is. And they're going a beautiful golden color now in the late afternoon sun, with dark blue skies. And here's the moon. I can't see it on the screen, but it's there, just above that boulder. So we're going to have absolutely clear skies for the stars tonight. And back to that oak tree. I can't believe it. I'm very impressed. Absolutely.